the bear, and Dot, the brave little bee. Deep inside the emerald forest lived a big brown bear named Borin. Borin was strong and gentle, but he had one great weakness: honey. He loved it more than berries, more than fish, more than anything. One warm morning, Borin smelled the sweetest scent drifting through the trees. "Ah, honey!" he sighed, his tummy rumbling. The smell led him to a tall oak tree, where a small beehive buzzed softly in the sunlight. Tiny golden bees danced around the hive, protecting their precious treasure. Without thinking, Borin stood on his back paws and reached for the hive. Suddenly, a tiny voice shouted, "Stop right there, Big Paws." Borin blinked and looked down. Hovering in front of his nose was the smallest bee he had ever seen, with shiny wings and brave little eyes. "I'm Bella," the bee said, "and that honey is not yours." Borin scratched his head. "But I'm very hungry." Bella crossed her tiny arms. "We worked all spring to make that honey. If you take it, my family will have nothing for winter." Borin looked at the hive again. He imagined how hard it must be for such little creatures to gather so much nectar. His paw slowly dropped. "I didn't know," Borin said softly. "I never thought about that." Bella hovered closer. "You're big and strong. You don't need to steal." Borin felt something warm inside his chest. Not hunger, but kindness. "I'm sorry, Bella," he said. "Can I make it up to you?" The bee smiled. "Actually, yes." That afternoon, Borin became the forest's most unusual helper. He carefully carried fallen flowers back to the meadow so the bees could collect nectar. He scared away hungry birds and used his big paws to move broken branches blocking the hive. By sunset, the bees had gathered more nectar than ever before. Bella landed on Borin's nose. "Because of you, our hive is safe." The queen bee flew forward and placed a tiny drop of honey on Borin's paw. "Not because you're big," she said, "but because you were kind." Borin tasted the honey. It was the sweetest thing he had ever eaten, not just because of the flavor, but because it was given with trust. From that day on, Borin never took honey again. Instead, he became the guardian of the hive, and Bella the Brave became his best friend. And in the Emerald Forest, everyone learned that even the biggest hearts can learn from the smallest voices. The end.